In 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's up? It's a new year.
What's up?
Welcome everybody to the CineBoiz podcast. We are part of the Corked Bats podcast network. We are actually the only podcast on the internet where four dudes get together and talk about movies. Again, there are no other podcasts like ours, so don't bother looking it up. There are no other movie podcasts, period. Take our word for it. You know, just listen to us. That's all you need for all your news and headlines and fun stuff. So, but yeah, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts, thank you. Please consider subscribing and then telling 2 friends. That's your goal this week. You're gonna subscribe yourself and then tell 2 friends. It's how all great pyramid schemes work. You tell friends, they're going to tell friends, so on and so forth. You don't technically have to listen when you subscribe, but you're going to have a good time. So do it. You know, it's worth your time.
There's not many podcasts out there that are pro pyramid scheme, and we're one of the few.
Right.
So
we're very pro pyramid scheme. Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching on the Cork Bats YouTube page, thank you as well. Be sure to follow Cork Bats on YouTube. Also follow them on Instagram, Twitter, all the places. They also have a website, corkbats.com. And with the video, again, you don't technically have to watch the full thing. It's more fun to watch the full thing. Like you're gonna have a good time, just give us a like. That goes a long way. Likes are nice. More likes we get, not really a monetary value assigned to that yet, but emotionally it makes us feel great. And so, yeah, please consider doing that. But yeah, guys, it's 2021. That is neat. The worst year in recorded history is officially over.
Let's get on to the next one.
Yeah,
worst year in recorded history.
Yeah, 1B.
I think it'll be better. I don't know.
We'll see, won't we?
I think there's going to be a lot of good things that happen this year.
Hope so.
I've been reading a lot of posts on Instagram where it's like, don't say that 2021 is your year. And that makes me mad because I want to say it's my year. 2021 is going to be Ken's year. And all you haters out there on Instagram and Twitter that keep posting that shit, shame on you.
Yeah,
I'm going to have
Kenny.
I'm going to have a hell of a year, and it's going to be mine. I'm not sharing. Okay?
2017 was my year, so you're good. That's all yours.
2017 was the opposite of my year. So 2021 is going to be my year.
I think my year was 2009, so I'm well past my prime.
Yeah. Tom, what about you? What was your year?
I had a pretty good 2011.
Yeah. That was a good year.
It was a pretty solid year.
I think 2013, as of now, is my year. That was a really good year. Yeah. Well, 2021 is going to be of this decade, of the 2020s, is going to be my year.
It's weird that we're going to start referring to this as the 20s now, and then we're not going to know what we're talking about.
The roaring 20s. It's going to be, man, there's going to be so many things that happen this decade. Have you guys seen the new Google, thought thing where it's literally this guy at MIT created something where he can think up a Google search?
Nope.
And it just searches?
Destroy that.
Oh, man, that freaks me out.
Get rid of it.
I saw those robots.
I hate it.
This is how we kill ourselves. Do these people at MIT not listen to a podcast like this and watch movies? Do they not know?
It's wild, man. It just uses the vibrations and the waves in his head, and it was on 60 Minutes or something like that.
Couldn't be more out on that.
Hate it.
Yeah,
we don't need robots reading our brains. That's the last thing we need.
Also, technology-wise, the thing that I'm actually really excited about, since I'm such an Alexa stan. Good, she didn't say anything. I love my Amazon Echo, and I have an Amazon Echo Dot right here on my desk. I have an Amazon Echo Show in my living room. I now have the Amazon Echo Car, which is your Alexa in the car, which is great. Nope, don't. Thank you. Now they have Echo glasses. So essentially, Amazon has a product that they're going to start releasing this year that is glasses that are Alexa enabled. Nope, don't. Okay. You gotta be careful.
On the border of going too far also.
I don't care. Sign me up, man. So I get my groceries delivered by Amazon now. I haven't been to a grocery store in over a month.
You just read at your list?
Yeah. So I have Amazon Fresh, which is their grocery service. I don't think they have it in Austin because Metropolis, but today I had a huge delivery of groceries and my fridge is stocked and I didn't interact with a single human being. So
I like that.
Amazon Fresh. Look it up. I don't know if you guys get it, but
I mean, we don't have it in the backwoods of Missouri and Kentucky, but
right. Well, you might. I will say this: it is free delivery. Orders of over $35. I do recommend you tip your driver, though. So do that. But
I want to make one thing clear.
Okay.
While there are many, 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 many backwoods of Kentucky, I do not reside in them.
Take that.
So,
egg on your face, Kevin.
You reside
to clear
in the
that up.
Frontwoods portion of Kentucky.
There are two Frontwoods portions of Kentucky.
Louisville.
Well, do you have Amazon Fresh in the Frontwoods of Kentucky?
Honestly, I haven't checked. I like to pick out my own produce. That's a weird thing about me, a weird fact.
Mm-hmm.
I have never used Instacart or anything like that.
That's fair.
I don't trust anyone to pick my produce.
I think that's very fair. I don't order a lot of produce off of it, so most of what I get is non-perishables or like meat that I stick in the freezer, or bagged veggies, so like broccoli, florets, and spinach and stuff like that. So if you have Amazon Prime, I highly recommend it. So, but guys, look, we're not a freaking Amazon podcast, although it's not a bad idea. If I had it, I would do a podcast that's just talking about Amazon, things we've ordered, things they offer.
I've ordered some weird stuff in the last year. We could do a rundown of the stuff we ordered in the last year. Who ordered the weirdest thing?
That'd be fun.
Probably Kenny.
But here's the thing, Kevin. I appreciate the idea. And yes, it was by far me, I'm sure. I do think that we are a movie podcast.
Well,
so I think we need to stop talking about Amazon unless it's Amazon Prime Video, which we could, but we're moving on. Movies. Guys, it's been 2 weeks since we've seen each other. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I don't know what your religious beliefs are. And I know for me, I had a lot of free time. I'm still technically on vacation until Monday. I have a lot of time to watch a lot of stuff. And there was a lot of good stuff that came out. So, today I just figured, let's catch up. What have you guys been watching? Let's talk about it. We'll kind of just go through and we can talk about what's good. We can talk about what sucks. It'll be a good time. So with that being said, Kevin, what you been up to, man? What you been watching these past few weeks?
Well, the most recent thing I watched last night, finally watched Wonder Woman 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I let my expectations get the better of me, but I was disappointed. I left the viewing experience with kind of a sour view of the whole thing. I know other people really liked it. There's been fair criticisms as well. I just think that it felt a little unfinished in parts. It felt like they didn't finish. They didn't submit the final cut. Like it could have been a half hour shorter, possibly. The opening scene was one of the more interesting opening scenes I can remember. That mall scene, they clearly just tried to hit you in the mouth with nostalgia.
Yep. But
then they had that weird, 15-second long zoom in on the guy's face screaming no, and that would just set a weird tone for the movie. And I didn't really quite recover. I'll be honest.
That's fair. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. I think
totally agree.
Wonder Woman 1918 or whatever, 1917, was a lot better. But at the same time, I feel like the overall trend that I saw online was people hated Wonder Woman 84. And I don't understand that. I don't think, I don't think it was as good, but I don't think it was a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was
Entertaining for sure. I'll give you entertaining.
There's some, I liked the cast. I think everyone in that movie was really good. I am a Pedro Pascal stan.
He was
awesome.
the MVP of the movie.
I love him.
Yeah.
Although very weird how he's like defeated at the end. I don't know.
The whole villain portion in the Dreamstone was very spoilers, obviously. Watch it, but I thought it was a weird, weak premise at best.
I did too.
Yeah, it seemed a little far-fetched, even though it's a superhero movie.
And it seemed like too easy.
Yeah.
I liked the first one a lot because it seemed sort of grounded in reality because it took place in World War I and there was lots of historical things they could draw upon. But this one was just basically like 80s nostalgia, and we're going to draw upon that. And so it was, I don't know. It could have used more Kristen Wiig. She wasn't in it enough, in my opinion.
She was fantastic.
At least not as the villain. She was the villain for like 10 minutes.
Right.
And then was just kind of gone. Unresolved.
Yeah. I really liked Kristen Wiig in it. Again, Pedro Pascal. I think for me this year, so like I think about this time last year was really when I started my Adam Driver like obsession. And I think this year for me it's Pedro Pascal. Pascal.
Fair.
I love him. I love him in Wonder Woman. I love him in The Mandalorian. He's so cool. I want to be him.
Don't forget his best role. Well, I'm already blanking on the drug show.
Narcos?
Narcos. God, I love Narcos.
I just started watching that last night.
Oh, good for you, Tom. Good for you, Tommy.
Yeah. He just seems cool. What else you watch, Kev? Anything else?
Finally watched Tenet. Brain is still a little bit effed up. I think it was just bad. If we're being honest. Like, I really appreciate Christopher Nolan's like ability to put together an incredible movie. But I don't like that his main goal of the film was to try and mind F the whole audience. I just wish he hadn't done that.
Yeah, when you are the only one that understands the movie you're making, that's a bad sign.
Robert Pattinson put out a quote this week that said he didn't understand it at any point of reading the script, of acting, ever.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
Nope.
Yeah, I think he was saying that like there were some points where he kind of understood what was going on, but other points when they were filming where he didn't have even the vaguest understanding of what they were doing.
I mean, that's probably not a sentiment that I'm sure there's lots of movies he doesn't really know what's going on. We're being totally honest. But yeah, great.
Even Inception and to some degree Interstellar, like, I can follow those, but they're still really like, they require a lot of like work.
Yeah. And you can poke holes, but this one was just, you had no chance.
It was
you stood no chance.
Right. This was the first one where I from beginning to end, I had no idea what was actually going on.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was
visuals were very impressive.
Very good looking.
That's all.
Great looking body to that film.
Soundtrack was awesome too.
Soundtrack always good as per usual.
Mob, have you seen it yet?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
but I'm going to watch it.
I don't know how we could spoil it for you because we don't know what
you can't. No. Unspoilable. So good job on that.
Firmly understand that. Yep. We want to watch it, but just haven't gotten around to it yet.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair. Well, enough about you, Kevin. I'm sick of listening to you, dude.
Fair.
Mob, what have you been watching, dude? What have you been doing the past few weeks?
We've watched a lot of stuff. We too watched Wonder Woman.
Solid.
It came out on Christmas, yeah. Watched some old things, like we watched Die Hard on Christmas Day.
As one does.
Yeah, I was at the parents' house, and they wanted to watch the Jumanji sequel, which to me, the best part of that was watching Kevin Hart pretend to be Danny Glover and Jack Black doing his Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder impersonation.
All right.
You watched the sequel or the sequel?
The sequel to the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for some new stuff, we watched Sound of Metal last night.
Oh yeah.
Still need to watch it.
Very good. Riz Ahmed's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it with an ENT doctor So I was told all the ways that it was medically incorrect. And
Right.
there are a lot of medical holes in it.
Interesting.
So don't let that change your opinion of it.
I challenge her to a medical off, doctor off.
There was one point in the movie where I was like, "Oh, this is funny. This is the one goof it has on IMDb." And then she went on for another 10 minutes about all the other goofs that had gone on about it. So, but it was good.
Yeah. I love Sound of Metal. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I love Riz Ahmed. Like, I think how you feel about Pedro Pascal is kind of how I feel about Riz Ahmed. And I have kind of since the night of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bad show. Well, cool. Anything else? Anything other than that, or?
I watched Mulan, the live action version.
Oh,
Okay.
And that the impersonation that left on me was, if that movie was never made, my life would have gone on just fine.
Okay.
But also, like, it wasn't bad because I watched it. It's just, it's a movie that exists in my mind. That's
There
it.
you go.
And then I've been watching a lot of Silicon Valley.
Great show. Fantastic show. Tom, man, what about you? Where you been, dude? What you been doing?
Yeah, well, since it was the Christmas time, I just watched a lot of old favorites, old classics. So first two Die Hards, I watched Lethal Weapon. So I watched Gremlins for the first time, Christmas movie.
Wow, what a
Talk
great
about
movie.
80s nostalgic factor that definitely hit the mark. And I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was just a fun movie. Let's see. And then, It's a Wonderful Life, Elf, watched all those classics, Home Alone 1 and 2. In terms of new stuff, we watched Wonder Woman a few nights ago. I really enjoyed it. I love Pedro Pascal, which is kind of new for me because I also recently started watching The Mandalorian. That's been a lot of fun, and I'm super into that. And then, last night I started watching Narcos, and he's just a phenomenal actor. So I'm excited to see him in future projects. Trying to think. I don't feel like I watched any, other than Wonder Woman, I don't think I watched any new movies.
Does anybody else watch The Midnight Sky? I watched that.
I did watch that. Yeah.
I was going to, and then I saw that it didn't do that well.
We've had a good run on space movies this decade. Not a good one.
Again, I didn't think it was that bad, but
not bad. But when you stack it up against Gravity, Interstellar, The Martian, even the Brad Pitt one, I can't remember the name.
Ad Astra.
Yeah. I didn't really care for it.
Doesn't stack up. I liked it. Don't bad talking. I mean, it was a vibe kind of movie. Not a lot happening, but
I think that Midnight Sky was fine. I watched it. I kind of was doing laundry while I had it on, so it was like one of those movies.
That's a good laundry movie.
It was in 4K, and I like things in 4K.
Also,
it looked nice.
It did look nice.
I forgot. I watched Us finally.
Oh,
the Jordan Peele Us.
Oh, scary AF.
It's creepy.
I wasn't scared. It was creepy. I would call it more creepy than scary.
Yeah. There's a lot of laugh out loud moments in that movie too.
Yeah.
Laugh out loud.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
There's
a few scenes that are pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I fully understand it, but I'm trying.
It's kind of it's a little headier than Get Out. Yeah. Well, yeah, man, I think a lot of us have kind of watched the same things. I will say one that it doesn't seem like any of you guys saw, but I watched Soul. Fantastic movie.
I've heard that.
Maybe one of my favorite Pixar movies.
Wow. That's on. I think we're planning on watching it tonight, actually. So
it's really, really good.
I to get Disney Plus. So
I actually went to a theater a couple nights ago, and I saw Promising Young Woman.
Oh,
which is
man,
I want to know about it.
Top 5 of the year for sure.
Good.
So good, fantastic movie. I think when the trailer for that came out was probably like about a year ago. I think it was going to get released in the spring, but it got pushed back because of, coronavirus.
Is that be streaming anywhere?
I don't know.
From what I read, is it's under the same deal where it gets pushed into theaters for I think like 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, it'll be on video on demand.
Okay.
So it'll start streaming here in like the second, third week of January.
Yes. So I went to the theater to see that, and it was awesome. Like, it's such a good movie. Like, if you follow Next Best Picture on Twitter and Matt Nagelia, they've been talking about this movie for like over a month, like month and a half probably, about how good it is. And it's one of those things where it's like, man, am I going to go into this and be really like disappointed because I built it up so much in my head? Nope. It was really good. Like, I highly recommend it when you get the chance to see it. I finished The Mandalorian. Tom, have you finished The Mandalorian?
I am halfway through season 2.
Okay. Do you know how it ends?
I do not.
Okay, good.
Don't say anything.
Don't look up anything.
Yeah,
don't.
I'm in the middle of watching it too, for what it's worth. So.
Stay off Twitter.
I unfortunately, it was ruined for me because it's something I saw on Instagram. So I do not. In fact, just cancel your accounts until you finish The Mandalorian.
Hopefully I can finish it this weekend. I don't think I have. I think it might be a little more than halfway through. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm super excited for the future Star Wars projects coming to us.
I think
this has been such a phenomenal. Like, when I first started watching it, when it first came out, I was a little underwhelmed, but the second shot, I've just been very impressed.
Yeah, it is. It's like what I wish that the sequel trilogy was. Like, I wish they had just done this. Like, I like the sequel trilogy. I think Last Jedi is one of the best Star Wars movies. Put it on the board.
Put it on the
board.
board.
If you were to ask me, like, if I had to choose between the sequel trilogy and The Mandalorian, I'd choose The Mandalorian, hands down.
Not even close.
Yeah, it's so good. And yeah, I'm it's really exciting, especially when you get into season 2 and they start introducing all these characters from the past, characters from like shows that weren't ever in like the movies. And you're like, this is going to, like, they can do so much stuff with this.
Yeah.
And they are.
Because that's what I've been wanting. Yes. Like, I've been wanting them to like explore these other storylines that aren't like the Skywalker storyline. Like, I don't know. I just love how it all revolves around each other and people come in and out. And I don't know. I'm just excited.
Disney Plus just opens the door for so many opportunities now.
It really does. Yeah.
Right.
Quick note. Promising Young Woman comes to video on demand January 11th, not to be confused with Pieces of a Woman, which comes out January 7th. So
that movie looks devastating.
Something to look forward to. Devastating is the right word.
Yikes. Yeah, there's a lot. We're getting into Oscar season, even though Oscar season is going to be really long this year.
Yeah,
I can't wait for us to fill out our ballots because there's going to be a million things to fill out.
Yeah,
there's also like 10 movies that like I really want to see that aren't even out, like not even coming out.
Yeah, I won't be able to see everything.
Yeah, like Nomadland, I really want to see that.
Oh man, that looks good. I love Frances McDormand so much.
I mean, other for me, like stuff I've kind of like I said, Soul. I went back and watched Fargo, the movie, because we finished season 4 of Fargo, which is probably my least favorite season of Fargo so far.
We're halfway through, and it's a mental focus that we just don't have right now.
I've fallen behind.
Yeah.
Fargo 1 through 3 are like in my head equally great. 4 is not bad at all, but it's probably my least favorite of all of them.
It's good to know.
It's not the Fargo you expect. It's a good Fargo, but it's not 1 through 3 where it's like, I don't know. Everyone, you're like, let's keep going. This one's more, I guess, dialogue driven than it is action driven. So
also,
it's good.
Have you gotten to the episode where they're at Union Station in Kansas City yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's definitely not Union Station. That's like the biggest, like me and Catherine are like, so they show like them pulling up to Union Station, and it's so clearly not Union Station. It's basically like, it looks like maybe it was shot at Grand Central in New York and they just put Union Station on the front of it. And we just both started laughing out loud because it's like, that's
not it.
They didn't film any of it in Kansas City, from what I understand, which is a bummer. But it's still cool that it took place in Kansas City. Go Chiefs. So I went back and watched the movie Fargo with Frances, and that movie's so great.
It is a treasure.
It won Best Picture, correct?
No, it did not.
It was nominated. She won Best Actress, right?
Okay. What won that year?
I believe so.
97, 8, 9?
Movie came out in 96, so I think that was
97 Oscars, yeah.
Kevin, was
Titanic.
it your brother who one year dressed as the wood chipper for Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best,
That's
honestly, one of the
amazing.
best Halloween costumes I've ever heard of, and I tell people about it all
That's
the time.
solid.
How old was
I
he?
like that movie a lot. Not that old.
Yeah.
What are you, little boy? I'm the wood chipper from Fargo.
People loved it.
He had
to be
a
honest.
foot sticking out of his head. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, so there was that. I also went back and watched all the Lethal Weapon movies because I've seen one like periodically. I'll see it every couple of years, but I haven't actually like, gone through and watched all of them in a long time, but they're all on HBO. So just a couple of things. I know we talked about Lethal Weapon a few weeks back, and I mentioned that Mel Gibson's Australian accent in the first Lethal Weapon is so noticeable. I would like to go ahead and expand on this a little bit now that I've seen all 4 of the movies recently. It's noticeable in 1 and 2. In 3, he doesn't even try to hide it. There are a few scenes in particular where it's like he gives a full monologue where he is speaking in an Australian accent, and it is impossible not to notice. And then the 4th movie, completely gone. He no longer has an Australian accent. It's 100% American.
You think our standards for actors were just lower back then? Because I don't remember that.
Oh man, like I don't know, like if people didn't notice. I don't know, like it's hard for me to tell.
Maybe I just didn't care. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there were 2 scenes in particular in Lethal Weapon 3. There's one where he's talking about basically the plot of Lethal Weapon 3 is they find that this group of whoever is using these like armor piercing bullets, and he's explaining the armor piercing bullets in the police station at the firing range, and he goes on starting to explain it, and it's like bullet, and it's like, yeah, no, he's not even trying. But
Respect, honestly.
Lethal Weapon, great series, man.
Are they streaming anywhere?
HBO Max.
Oh,
4.
sweet. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll put that on my to-do list.
Also, Lethal Weapon 4, I don't know if that movie would fly today. It's a little bit racist.
Yeah. Sounds right.
It's actually pretty over the top racist. But it was the 90s, man.
Noted.
And then I think that's pretty much it on my end as far as stuff I watched. Guys, we fit a lot in 2 weeks. Look at us.
I'm actually just now realizing how much I actually watched, and then also realizing how much more I could have watched and what I squandered.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, as we're talking about this, my list is growing.
Well, you still got, I don't know if you got, well,
I got today and tomorrow.
yeah, 2 days and work. Anyways.
I don't want to talk about it. I can use another week.
Guys, we talked about the past. Let's talk about the future. Today is it's Monday, January 4th, which means it was New Year's Day.
Happy birthday, Tim Keith. Worst birthday ever.
Shout out.
First Monday back after the holiday. Everyone hates that day.
But, I don't know if you guys set some New Year's resolutions, but I'd like to hear about them. Let's all get started on the right foot. Tom, what's your New Year's resolution, my man?
Yeah, that's always kind of tough for me because I'm not a big New Year's resolution guy. But as we've been talking, I think I'm just going to pull the trigger this year. I'm going to subscribe to this podcast. I'm going to tell 2 friends about it.
Yeah.
I've got all year long to do that. So
that's great, man.
That's it.
That's a solid plan. That's a solid New Year's resolution.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should all adopt that plan. I've already subscribed on everywhere you can subscribe, so I just don't have any friends to tell about it. That's my problem.
Same.
Mob, what about you, man? What's your New Year's resolution?
With New Year's resolutions, I like to look back on the last year and think of maybe things that I did that I should quit.
Mm-hmm.
So in thinking on that, my New Year's resolution this year is to not fry the motherboard on my PC.
Dude, solid.
Still working itself out, I imagine.
Yeah. Yep. So if we can get a whole year without me doing that, smooth sailing.
Nice, man.
Love it.
I know what mine is, but it's not that fun. You know,
Mine's not fun either. It's just
mine is drink no more than 1 cup of coffee a day.
Ooh.
So far, so
Why?
good. 2 days in, I've drinking 1 cup of coffee each day. Well, for me, I have a hard time stopping things once I've started. So with coffee, I'll drink like 4 or 5 cups of coffee in a day and not even think about it. And then it'll be like 4 in the afternoon, and I'll be like, why do I feel like shit?
Why are you floating?
Why do I feel so anxious that I could cry? And it's probably coffee. So I don't want to quit coffee completely, but I do want to just drink 1 cup of coffee a day. So far, it hasn't been bad. I've gotten that nice cup in the morning. I got a pour over for Christmas that makes 1 cup of coffee, and I finish that, and then I feel great in the afternoon. I don't feel like super anxious or jittery.
You need to get on the decaf train, man. That's what I've been doing.
I don't want that.
It just fulfills the need of. Sometimes you just need like something warm and like it's something the act of drinking.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've done decaf in the afternoons before, but that's usually after like 4 or 5 cups of caffeinated coffee during the day, and then decaf to wane myself off.
Well,
So that's my resolution: is to just drink 1 cup of coffee a day, 1 cup or less. Actually, no, 1 cup exactly.
Yeah,
I don't
1
want to not
cup
drink coffee
exactly.
either.
fair.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get rid of it. I'm with you on that.
There's
I like it too
something
much.
about that first cup of coffee, especially on work days, where it's just like, okay, today's not going to be that bad. Yeah. Well, that was fun. We're all.
I guess
really
I don't
cool.
have any resolutions.
Oh, Kevin, I forgot about you, you sweet boy. Kevin, what's your New Year's resolution?
Mine's not great. I don't want to buy anything off an Instagram ad this year. Screw those. I'm a sucker, basically what it comes down to. I'm not going to buy anything off Instagram, an ad. I won't do it. They get you, man. They know, they
I will say
track
that
your cookies.
Yep.
They market it straight for you,
Mhm.
and they know what you want. And I will not give in this year.
Instagram was
For
like,
you,
this,
Zuckerberg.
look at this guy. He's a dumbass. He's got a podcast and he spends his money like a jackass. Let's
Exactly.
start pounding. Let's start throwing some
Exactly.
canvases at him. There's no way you can say no.
Quarantine was super bad for my purchases of Instagram ads.
Yeah, man. How many
It's
like
so tempting.
custom print things have you seen on Instagram now that you bought that? You probably had like a week of only like get your custom posters framed at this place and all that
It's
stuff.
constant. It's constant.
Horrible.
And it's usually about like, hey, you're going to want a picture that someone paints of your dog. And it's all that. It's basically like, hey, you're going to want to remember your dog forever, right? Buy this. We already know you're into this shit.
Yep.
Get one of your dog.
So for a whole year, I'm not even gonna click on one. I don't
And
even want to know.
Good
Here's
luck.
the thing too, man. I
Yeah,
know
well,
what they're
don't
doing.
worry.
I know exactly what they're trying to do, and it's working. Like I really want to get one.
Well, it's even more evil now because the main button on Instagram is the shopping cart button. Where
Yeah.
you can like go shop for shit. Leave me
Got
alone.
us.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, they got us. They're roping us in.
Yeah.
I think we kind of talked about Amazon earlier, but I guess my goal is to no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep shopping on Amazon. I don't give a shit. Actually, I'm going to shop more on Amazon. I'm going to see if I can order at least one Amazon item a week this year.
Maybe that's a new segment. Kenny's Amazon item of the week. Tell
I
us
got a
what you
free Fire Stick from Amazon because I'm such a loyal customer.
bought. Wow.
Like I get it tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. I mean, I have an Xbox. I don't need it. But the fact that I'm getting it,
Well, now you need a second TV to put the Fire Stick on.
That's true.
You need a bedroom TV now.
Which, yeah, that'll happen
Only
relatively
makes
soon, I
sense.
think.
Good.
I do. I mean, I kind of want to upgrade my TV. I've had the same TV for 6 years now. That's
6
really
years?
long for me.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, shoot.
That is
Oh,
really
yeah.
long for you.
yeah. I used to buy a new TV like once a year.
Yeah, I know.
I remember that.
Black Friday, man.
Yeah, it
It'll
did
get you.
get me. It's like, well, I need to upgrade. Then maybe this year I should actually. Maybe that's my New Year's resolution is to buy a new TV.
That's a good resolution.
I don't think my resolutions are changing my lifestyle at all. It's just like buy new stuff.
It's making them more
Just enhancing
who you
your
are.
life.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well.
Well, guys, that's it. Great. I hope 2021 for all of us. I hope we all stick to our resolutions and have a great, fantastic year. So really what that comes down to is the first Tommy's mailbag and anniversaries. Tommy's mailbag, won't you read that mail to me, of 2021. So, Tom, do we got anything in that mailbag this week?
Yeah.
Cool.
We got a little question here. Comes to us from Dan from Akron. Says, happiest of New Year's to you, CineBoiz. Every year, there's always a lot of talk about Christmas movies and what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie. I'm curious, though, are there other movies or genres that you associate with different times of year?
Halloween movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's some movies I associate with summer, but I can't quite think of what they are yet.
I'm a huge sports movie fan, so beginning
Moneyball
of football season
movie.
is Remember the Titans, and beginning of baseball season is Moneyball. It's a yearly thing for me. Mm-hmm. So like Moneyball spring, Remember the Titans fall.
It's almost time for me to watch Miracle. That's a February movie for me.
That's a good one.
I feel like there are movies. I think the springtime for me is when I go back and watch like movies from like early childhood or like the 80s. Like, I don't know why, but like when it starts warming up, I just kind of want to watch like, crack the windows, maybe get the grill going that I don't have, and watch some 80s movies, like action movies, like Karate Kid. Usually I watch that in the spring every year. I don't know. It feels like a good time to do that. I don't know why. I just associate that in my mind.
Karate Kid is a good springtime movie because the weather, and it's California, it's warm.
Right.
It's starting to warm up. You're like, man, I could go for Daniel LaRusso riding his bike around, getting the shit just kicked out of him.
Yeah. Also,
sounds like a spring tradition to me.
We've talked about this on our podcast before, but I think there's very much a spring vibe to outdoor high schools where all the lockers are outside.
Oh yeah, very much.
Southern California, man. And from what I understand, that happens here in Austin too. I just don't ever go to schools.
That's good. I'm glad you're not going to high schools.
No, maybe that should be a New Year's resolution for you. Go to more Austin high schools.
So there's a middle school down the street I hang out at a lot. Let me clarify though. It's only because there's a track that I can go exercise around.
Oh, you were serious? Good.
Yes, I do go over there. But also, there's been no children at schools for like a year, so it hasn't been an issue.
Will it be?
It could be, but I'll stop going.
Okay. Wow.
I'll find somewhere else to walk because that might be weird if they're having whatever practice out there.
Yeah, you're just in like third period PE,
right? And I'm typically shirtless, like. And that's not a joke. That's a true thing. Like, especially in summer, like when it's hot out, I like to, my exercise is walk around in the Texas heat with my shirt off. I get tan. I lose weight.
It's good for me.
It's a twofer.
Yeah.
So, it's harder to do that in the winter. So I typically like do my Ring Fit Adventure or go to the gym. So.
Nice.
What was that question again?
What movies or genres do you associate with other times of the year? Because we've got like the horror movies for Halloween. We've got Christmas movies for Christmas. I was thinking I kind of watch there's like a few like Westerns and then also like crime movies I love watching around. It's kind of starting like October, November, and then like January and February. Like that's kind of when I like to watch those. I don't know why. It's just kind of when I started doing it. So I'll probably watch The Irishman in the next couple of weeks. So I watched it last January.
I do tend to watch more involved heavy films in the fall and winter when I feel like I can't be outside and this is a good time to knock those out.
I also, these next couple of months, I like watching either some old like Best Picture nominees and winners or try to get ready for the Oscars and like try to watch like at least a couple of the currently nominated ones. Like that's this time of year for me as well.
Yeah.
Ken, this will probably be the first time you won't see all the nominees.
Oh, I'm going to see them.
You are?
Oh, for sure. Like I don't think the nominations are coming out until later this year. So I'm going to I'm gonna.
When are the Oscars this year?
March.
April?
Yeah, they're in April.
Shit.
Yeah, late April, I think.
That's
They're
weird.
really late this year. So
really weird.
nominations are going to come out till March. Or
That's probably right. It's about a month beforehand, right?
I'll double check that. But yeah, it's going to be late this year because I know the deadline this year I think is end of February, so they gave an extra 2 months.
Nice.
That's
probably good.
Yeah, it's strange. It definitely throws everything kind of off kilter, but I don't hate it. I think I'll still get around to seeing everything I want to see, and I'll make sure I see every single one. I'm not gonna not do that. I have.
It will be a bummer to have the Super Bowl come and go, and then the Oscars won't be there like the next weekend,
right?
Or 2 weekends later.
Yeah, when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Because February is the worst month.
We'll be too busy partying again.
Yeah,
by ourselves.
Let's hope so.
Party,
man. I know we're not a sports podcast, but
we're not.
Watching football alone is a bummer.
Yeah, man.
Like my wife doesn't care, so it's just me in the basement, and I didn't realize how much of how much other people shared the burden of my anxiety when I watched football until I had to watch it totally alone. And I feel for Mob and to you too, and Kenny.
I think
now that you can't go to the Chiefs bar, what's it called? The Tavern.
The Tavern. Yeah. I think I can. I think they are open and they are showing Chiefs games, but I'm not going to because I don't want to die. I think too, I kind of noticed the same thing. The only person I've really been able to watch Chiefs games with is Catherine, and I don't think she really enjoys that because I get really, really stressed.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's very enjoyable for her, and I completely understand that.
Someone
when we used to watch them all together.
There's a shared feeling that you kind of all prop each other up in that time.
Right.
And you can complain to each other and celebrate with each other, but when it's just you, it's all on you. It's all on your shoulders. And my frail body can't support it. We're being honest.
It was really funny. It was really funny watching the Chiefs at my parents' house because no one cares there other than my wife.
You have to keep it in check a little bit.
She wasn't – well – when DeMarcus Robinson picks up the ball and decides, let's just throw this out the back of the end zone, I scream. And my mom was like, who is this man? And my wife was like, this is normal.
This is normal.
There's nothing worse than, for me personally, as I'm all in invested on my certain teams. And when someone comes out of the woodwork and is has no idea what's going on and I have to stop in the middle of something and explain it to them, nothing gets me riled up like that. One time during the World Series, my brother walks in, my dad and I are watching, and he goes, Cardinals are playing? What's going on? I'm like, Daniel, we're in the GD World Series, my man. Figure it out or leave. But not a sports podcast by any means.
We're not a sports podcast.
Let's get that out into the ether for the new year. Not a sports podcast.
I will say one more thing in regards to the question that was asked. I think this is the time of year where I watch a lot of documentaries. I get into a documentary mode early in the year.
Speaking of documentaries, apparently True False is going forward
outdoors, right?
Like nothing's I don't know how that's going to work, but
I might come up if that's the case. If it's outside,
it'd be cool.
On how everything looks.
Could be really cool. Could really be a bummer.
Yeah. We could do an episode from True False.
That'd be fun.
Ooh, and we could we could do a man on the street type of thing where Tom's asking people questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be cool. We got anything else in the mailbag this week?
That's it.
All right. Well, let's get into some movie anniversaries then.
All right. Happy 5-year anniversary to The Forest.
The Forest. For I do love The Forest.
I know this movie you speak of.
I never saw it.
It sounds familiar.
January's kind of a tough month.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Happy 10-year anniversary to Season of the Witch, starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh boy. Yeah. Is that the one where he's got the cage on his face? And the bees?
No,
what's that one?
That's the
Wicker Man.
Wicker Man. Oh, gosh.
Bees!
Not the bees!
What a movie.
I love
Never
Nick
saw that
Cage.
one either.
You're missing out, to be honest. But
happy 25-year anniversary to Biodome.
Oh, man.
Wow. Biodome.
I don't think I've ever seen Biodome, but I
Haven't
did watch
either.
a documentary about the real Biodome last year, and they talked about the movie Biodome, and that's all I have to say.
This might be the toughest slate of anniversaries we've had.
That
in a
was the
long time.
worst one
Well, you
by
know what?
far.
It's not going to get much better the next few weeks, so buckle up.
Hey, Tom, it's not your fault.
Because I was looking ahead, and it's just like pickings are slim.
Okay.
Well, now it's 2021, so 25 years is 96, right?
Yeah.
So what came out in 96? Mission Impossible is going to show up at some point.
I actually recently went back and watched some of the early Mission Impossibles. The action is tough. The fight scenes are tough.
Yeah, it's very different. It's not like a full-blown like big budget action movie.
No,
It's very
man,
much.
You take for granted how good the last 3 or 4 have been.
Well, I thought Mission Impossible 1's awesome.
It's an incredible movie.
That was very plot driven though, and then the 2 or 3 after were not plot driven.
2 is rough.
2 was rough.
I think 2 was.
I really enjoyed.
Is 2 the one where the fight scene at the end of the movie ended on like a cliff and he basically killed him with like a kick?
Yeah.
There's like the
Not good.
helicopter
Or
the
like
motorcycles coming at each other.
Yeah.
They do like a scissor kick. Ah.
Yeah.
Just the one where we get long hair Tom.
Yeah.
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 Also, it starts with him like climbing up the mountain or whatever in Utah. And apparently they did that with no like safety harnesses or whatever. He just did it.
That makes sense.
That sounds right.
The man is insane. And now he's like almost 60 driving a motorcycle off a cliff for Mission Impossible 7.
I cannot wait.
Especially after the screaming
Yeah.
tirade he went on
It
about.
better be good.
It better be good. Better
Gosh,
be good.
I love that tirade.
I do too, for being honest.
It's so right, but also so out of touch.
Yeah.
Like
Both.
everything he
Yeah.
says is like, yes, he's right. Like I
Wear a
agree with
mask.
him.
Need to
Be
be safe.
But
responsible.
also, he sounds like he has not interacted with like a normal human being in 30
No,
years.
he doesn't know how much milk costs. There's no way.
Right. That dude-
Stick a pack of gum. You could tell him it's $50 for. He'd be like, "Wow, still pretty good."
right.
Honestly, expected more.
Yeah. Have you guys? Never mind. Let's look, guys. Tom, thank you. You did a
You're
great job,
welcome.
man. With the limited resources you had, you did a fantastic job this week.
Should be getting paid for this.
We all should be. Who do we talk to about that? I'll call Austin.
Austin.
Austin, what's up, dude? Anyways, guys, thank you so much. It's so good to see you. Glad we got to hang out today and just kind of talk. That was a good time today. Just want to remind everybody we're on, if you want to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, through Anchor, anchor.fm. You can find us there. Also, if you go to the corkbats.com, their website, you can find our page on there with all the links and all the information you'd ever need to click subscribe. So look into that. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching on the YouTube page, Cork Bats YouTube, consider liking and subscribing to Cork Bats. We are part of the Cork Bats Network. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at the CineBoiz. If you want to send us something in our mailbag, it's the CineBoizPodcast@gmail.com. We like getting mail, so please send it to us. Follow, watch us, listen, like, subscribe, tell a buddy. I think that's it. I think I nailed everything there. Was there anything I forgot?
You nailed it.
Well, then I think we're done, guys. I'll see you next week.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.